Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast, coming at you live with my Impact Wrestling review for this evening's show, including Feast or Fired. If you're new to the content, by all means, there's plenty more that came from. Go check it out. And if you dig it, give it a like, give the channel a sub, and ring that bell for notifications so you can find out when more of my content hits your screen. Wow. I haven't had a beer in a long time, and I cracked one open as I was just watching this. I didn't watch it live. I just watched it now. I got a message from one of my buddies on Twitter and said something funny happened during the episode. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I just started watching it, so hey, no spoilers. Okay. So this doesn't sound like I'm crapping all over the show. That is not my intention here. If you watch my channel, you know that I have been faithfully supporting Impact Wrestling, and I am very behind everything they've been doing lately. Well, almost everything. I mean, nothing is perfect, for crying out loud. But they have been consistently, and I mean consistently, making improvements to the show, increasing their roster, having great matches, decent rivalries. And I gotta say, this is probably the first episode in several months that just felt off. And there was just certain things that happened during the show that just, the show just didn't flow tonight, okay? There was no, how do they say that? I wasn't feeling my chi during this episode, okay? Is that what they said during it? They center the chi. The show's chi was not centered, okay? And like I said, I'm not saying the show was crap. I'm gonna. It's constructive criticism, okay? Just saying that the show was crap. That's not constructive criticism. I am trying to give constructive criticism here, okay? Like I said, there were just certain things about the show that just threw it off tonight. It kind of felt like an off night. But let's go over it. I am, if you're watching this live with me, I am watching my chat. So if you care to chime in about tonight's show, by all means, talk to me. I'll talk back to you. Hey, let me know what you're drinking tonight, because I'm kind of glad I had a beer for this one. Yeah, J-Bone's drinking tonight. Look out. All right, so this is the review for Impact Wrestling, March 15th. Did I get that right? 15th, yes. 2018, featuring Feast or Fired, which was a whole glorious hot mess of its own. No, that was decent. That was okay. That was, they've done that several times throughout the years. In fact, they featured one of them in tonight's episode. And just to show a little preview of how crazy it can get. And it reminded me of some of the, I don't like to use the term glory days, but I mean, there is certainly a different feel to TNA back then to what it is now. I mean, the whole show is just completely different now, different people running it, different roster, different ring, all sorts of differences over the years. That was, I don't remember when that one was. It was from a Final Solution. I didn't catch the year. I'm guessing early. No. I'm going to say it was probably about 10 years ago. Okay. That's my guesstimate. So late 2000s, I'm guessing, because Lethal was in there. Saban and oh gosh, I can't think of the guy's name. The guys from Detroit, the tag team, Motor City. Oh damn. Oh man, yeah, that guy, Lethal. Bunch of guys. I didn't catch who was all in there. I didn't write them all down. But anyways, but it just showed how crazy they can get. And it was kind of nice seeing that. I like when, I don't like everything they show up there as far as the flashback stuff, but some of them were cool. You know, like last week, it was cool seeing Cage and Monty Brown and the pounce and stuff. I miss that pounce, man. Whatever happened to Monty Brown? I know he had a cup of coffee in the WWE and then he was never there ever again. Styles is in the chat. What is up, dude? You're firing me. I just started. Am I fired for drinking on the job? All right. How you doing, Styles? Good to see you in the chat tonight. Did you watch it? He. You're such a goof. Oh man. All right, so let's start out. It starts out crazy. It starts out with Sami Callihan versus Falabah. And that had a little dose of comedy in it because Falabah really he doesn't watch TNA. Well, you need to start, man, because it's decent. Tonight was a little weird, but it's a good show. Trust me on this. If you trust anyone, trust me, dude. Sami Callihan with OVE at ringside, absolutely kicking, excuse me, absolutely kicking Falabah's giant tuchus. Although it wasn't that way throughout the entire match. Falabah did get some shots in. It is amazing how athletic that dude is. It is really amazing. I mean, he can really run around. He is what, 300, 400 pounds? It's crazy. But Sami Callihan won, and the move he won with at the end was shocking. I don't know, honestly, who hurt it worse, but obviously it hurt Falabah worse. But it looked like it killed Sami too. That it was like a driver in the corner in a sense or something. I don't know. I forget what it was. But yeah, it was rough. And Eddie Edwards came to the rescue of Falabah because they were going to really start messing him up. Eddie is speaking of roughing up. Eddie looked rough. Oh, did he look rough? Oh my goodness. I'm a little surprised. I mean, obviously he didn't get physical, but just the fact that he ran down to the ring and got in the ring and that surprised me. Okay. I would highly doubt that was on the same day that he got hurt. I'm guessing it would have had to have been at least a day later. At least. That's a guess. But man, that just, that looked bad, you know. I'm a little surprised he didn't have more than just a couple tiny Band-Aids on there. I mean, you could tell the whole end side of his face was like not caved in, but it just didn't look good, man. So I'm a little surprised he was there. Not going to criticize, obviously. Like I said, he didn't get physical with anyone. He ran down there, made his presence known, and then during the show, they reconfirmed that it was going to be Jeremiah Crane versus Eddie Edwards. If you didn't catch the video I just put out a few hours ago, go check it out. It's basically an update from 24 hours before that. I don't like to say I told you so, but I told you so. Yeah, I know. And I'm never the guy that says that. If you watch my channel, I'm usually pretty conservative when it comes to that stuff. I don't get cocky. I never guess anything right, for crying out loud. That one I did. So that one, yep. That one I will. Yeah. I was kind of proud of that one. Just a little. So yeah. Eddie Edwards versus Jeremiah Crane, just weeks away for at WrestleCon. Lucha Underground versus Impact Wrestling. Oof. Body's like freaking out with this beer. All right, what's next here? Austin Aries has an awfully uncomfortable. Okay, this is the start of like the uncomfortable moments during the show. Okay, that interview with Mackenzie started great. By the way, whoever Mackenzie is getting for, like, you know, picking out her dresses and stuff. Yeah, I mean, wow. Yeah. Don't tell Tracy I said that. All right. Oh, I did that wrong. Oh, never mind. Awkward interview. Alberto El Patron walks in, and and my wife was watching it with me, and she's like, "Oh, it's Alberto Del Rio," and she's like, "He's on here?" I was like, "Yeah, babe, he's been on here." I don't always watch it with her. And I'm like, "No, but honey, that's Alberto El Patron." She's like, "No, it's Rio." I'm like, "No, honey, it's Patron. It's different show, different brand, different name." She's like, "No, that's Alberto Del Rio." I'm like, "All right, we'll give her a pass on that one," you know. So he walks up and he's like, "Hey, we've never met before," and he's right here in his face, and he's trying to feed him meat and stuff. It's just, wow. Creep level, what do they say? Creep level 9,000? Yeah, just absolutely. Creep level 9,000. We find out later, and then I'm kind of jumping around here, but we find out later in the episode, towards the end of the episode, actually, that the main event for Redemption, coming up in just over a month, April 22nd to be exact, for the Impact Wrestling Championship, Alberto El Patron versus Austin Aries defending. I haven't heard anything, but I'm going to take a guess that somewhere during the course of WrestleCon, either WrestleCon or possibly at Redemption, okay? Speculation, that we're going to have new championship belts, okay? I think that's what they said the goal was a few months ago when they started talking about the new guys taking over that did the press conference. I believe they said something to that effect. They were hoping by April. So WrestleCon weekend, let's cross our fingers in a few weeks that we see some new championships. Okay? I know that's something that's been, we'll just say, needed. Okay? It's like, you know, they've had this momentum over the course of this whole year. They've been doing really good since last fall. And they need to keep that momentum going, and they need, it'll kind of put the exclamation point on the whole revival of the company. Getting those new belts, you know? So, but yeah, I'll be following that very closely. The second I hear something about some new belts, hopefully in a few weeks, we'll see. All right, what else we got here? We've got, this was interesting. Next, we had Jimmy Jacobs coming down to the ring with Congo Kong, trying so desperately to call out the Monster Abyss one more time. Well, they got a little more than they bargained for, because we got the classic James Mitchell coming down to the ring. Cutting a hell of a promo. He really did. It was great to see him. I mean, usually he just kind of comes down and is just kind of a presence and makes those faces. But he came down and he had a shaved head. I mean, his head looked better than mine. Mine's a little fuzzy. He had the shaved head, the black and blonde goatee, and the eyebrow, everything. He was pimped out. He looked great. Talking to Jimmy Jacobs and had a little going back and forth. Jimmy Jacobs, man, can we call him the next generation of the creepy little bastard? Because he was just sitting there like, the whole time that James Mitchell was talking to him. I was like, what is he doing? Put your tongue back in your mouth. What is the matter with you? You're going to, is he having a seizure? Do we need to call somebody? Man, what is... I was a little scared. What's wrong with that guy? Somebody calls mama. God bless America. What is wrong with that man? So all right, settle down now. So yeah, James Mitchell comes down. And his promo was actually really interesting, how he said that he worked Abyss to the point that Abyss had like a nervous breakdown and like split from, one side was Abyss, the other side was Joseph Park. Of Park. By the way, Impact Wrestling, you need to bring Chandler back, okay? He is sorely missed. Love Chandler. So James Mitchell lets Jimmy Jacobs know that Abyss accepts his challenge. Came down to the ring, and so next week we are getting a Monsters Ball match between Abyss and Congo Kong. Now, I'm assuming that's going to be the main event, but I can't wait for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. You got to wonder if James Mitchell is going to be along for that one. I hope he is. Because if we can get a little more interaction between James Mitchell and Jimmy Jacobs, that's money, folks. That's money. That's good stuff. But yeah, props to James Mitchell, man. He looked like $1 million. He still had it, Still spooky old guy, So that was that. I felt that was a good segment. But this next segment, and this was the one thing that I was really looking forward to, because I haven't seen a lot of Feast or Fired, so I was kind of like, okay, it's going to be a hot mess of a match, a lot of spots, a lot of people in and out of the ring. So I was like, yeah, it'll be good, but I wasn't like dying to see it. This next match is what I was dying to see, okay? I was dying to see Taya Valkyrie versus Rosemary. And it ended in a double countout. The saving grace of the entire thing is that Taya Valkyrie put the Road to Valhalla on Rosemary again at the top of the ramp. So that was cool. But just the fact that it was a double countout was like, I miss Taya. I wanted her to get a win. I mean, and I like Rosemary too, but you want a very anticipated match to have it end in a double countout was like, oh man, just and I understand, and that obviously means it's going to continue. I'm assuming it is, but man, that was kind of a bummer, So yeah, we're we're hoping and praying to the wrestling gods above that this rivalry continues. So Let's see. Eli Drake fires Chris Adonis over the phone. What an asshole. I mean, that's just really, who does that? Well, some people do that. Yeah. Oh, wait, that happened to me about 20 years ago at that one job. Yeah. Yeah, not cool. Yeah, not cool. So yeah, I can say I know what it feels like. Anyways, so yeah, Chris Adonis, and it was in the news that Chris Adonis had left, but they put this in there, part of the, to make it part of the story. So no more Chris Adonis. But it's funny how he was supposed to be there to be part of the match for Feast or Fired to help Eli Drake. But as we see later, he didn't need any help really. So, but we'll get that in a little bit. Lashley then has a nice little conversation, actually a very one-sided conversation with Brian Cage. Brian Cage is just sitting in the bleachers eating his fill in the blank. What the heck was he eating? Sitting in the bleachers eating his curds and whey. No, I don't know. What does Brian Cage? Brian Cage, what do you eat? Probably some of those prepackaged super mega healthy protein meals, something maybe. I don't know. Wait. Cage is a machine, so never mind. I'm not going to overthink this right now. No, we'll come back to that at another time. All right. So Lashley challenges him to a match, basically, and Brian just kind of, whatever, walks away. So obviously this is going to continue. Obviously they're going to face off somewhere in the near future, probably sooner rather than later. We'll have to wait and see. I did not see if we're getting that next week. I know we're getting a couple of things. We're getting the Monsters Ball, and I don't know what else we're getting. Thought we were getting one more thing next week. Somewhere in my notes. Oh, we get the reveal of the. Okay, never mind. We'll get to that in a minute. Lashley challenges Brian Cage. And then, okay, so that's a nice little promo. That's a nice little interesting thing to further this feud along, because, there's something brewing there. Then we have pretty much the weirdest moment of the entire evening. Borderline uncomfortable, like more uncomfortable than Alberto El Patron trying to feed a steak to Austin Aries. Okay. He has to, or Seidel comes down to the ring to reveal his spirit guide. Okay. Someone who has helped him gain his 2 championships and has been there from whatever, day one. No, not day one. Has been there a lot lately. We'll say that. What? And then they're talking about it. Sanjay Dutt and Matthews, and all of a sudden Matthews is like, I gotta go. I'll be right back. And Dutt's like, where are you going? What are you doing? The fog rolls from the stage, and out comes Josh Matthews. I heard about this, and I didn't go out of my way to find this. I don't look for Impact spoilers when they do the tapings, but I did hear about this, and I was like, this was one of those things where it was like, when you heard it, it was like, okay, somebody must have misinterpreted something, because that couldn't have been what just happened. And then it did. And then he's like, you know what? Since you gave me a gift, Josh Matthews gives him a gift. He gives him a really weird looking mask, which is supposed to be the mask of his spirit animal, which looks like a really messed up fox or bear or cat or something. I don't know. What the heck was that? I don't know. Seidel then has nothing to give back to him, so he gives him his grand champion, or his grand championship belt, title, whatever, you know. So Josh Matthews is now grand champion. Yeah, when I read about this, I was like, that did not happen. That's crazy. I'll wait till it comes out in the episode and we'll see what actually happened. Right? Like I said, folks, at the beginning of this, there were certain things in this episode that just didn't flow. This is one of them, okay? D'Amore and Cyrus the Virus have been doing great. Up until this moment is quite the head scratcher, to say the least. We'll see where this goes. I'm not going to try to assume anything because this really came out of nowhere. I'm not going to call this crap yet, but this was just like, all right, you know, hey, someone had a liquid lunch and something. I don't know. We'll see. Just, you know, too much maybe? I don't know. Right. But anyways, then we go from here on to, and then Matthews comes back to Dutt, and Dutt is like, what in the hell is going on? I mean, the commentary is hilarious. I wish I could have actually like seen it, but they record that separate. Yeah, I wrote down what the F. Yeah, exactly. So then, okay, then we go down to Feast or Fired, and we have, I think I got everyone. I don't think I missed it. We have Ishimori, the two guys from the Cult of Lee, Petey Williams, KM, Tyrus, Moose, Eli Drake, EC3, and then I had to look up this one because I couldn't remember what they renamed this guy. Was it the Delhi Hit Squad? The guy who won the the Global Forged thing a few months ago, Rohit Raju. Yeah, that guy. Which actually he was doing pretty good in this, but he didn't win any of the cases. So Petey Williams won the first one. Moose got the next one. And I don't know what number, who got what, but EC3 won the third one, and Eli Drake, I screwed that up, took the fourth one. And we will get the reveal for that. I was hoping we would get the reveal tonight, but there was obviously no more time for that because I felt like this one should have had a little more time. They could have had a little more fun with this, but what are you gonna do? You know, they did enough in this episode. Oh yeah. So yeah, not the greatest of episodes. This one was a little off, you know. It had some fun stuff in it, had some good stuff, and then there was a couple of moments in here that was man. I can't wait to hear some different people's opinions of this. Honestly, you know, there's a few people I listen to a few reviews here and there for podcasts and whatever. So it'll be interesting to see a few other reactions out there. Like I said, you know, I try to give constructive constructive criticism. And I'm not going to come in here and be like, "Oh, this episode was shit." No, I'm not. No, I try to be more professional than that. Yeah, is a professional. Yeah. So, but hey, it was fun. Okay, it was. I had some good laughs and I made a few faces, and it is what it is. We'll see what happens next week. Let me tell you, folks. A minor hiccup like this, in my opinion, is nothing compared to the excitement that I have what's coming in a few weeks for Lucha Underground versus Impact Wrestling at WrestleCon that they are going to air live on Twitch. Folks, I have been following this so carefully. You can catch the videos on wrestlingwithwrestling.com. That goes straight to my channel. But man, the matches we're getting so far and the rivalries, it's just going to get better and better and better, folks. And I would not be surprised if we get a few surprises as well. So I did not get a lot of reaction to the poll I put out about a week ago. What I did was when they announced Phoenix versus Pentagon, or not, excuse me, I screwed that up. Phoenix and Pentagon were the two first guys announced for the Lucha Underground versus Impact Wrestling matches at WrestleCon. They were just announced. It wasn't, hey, this is their first match. It was just, hey, they're going to be in it. I put out a poll saying, would you like to see them in singles matches or would you like to see them tag against someone else? I barely got any responses, and the responses I got were 50-50. So I'll ask you guys again, just to get see if I can get more reaction out of this, because the expectations for this is going to be growing, obviously, by the day. What do you guys want to see? Talk to me on social media. Put it in the comments below and talk to me. What do you want to see out of this? What do you want to see the Lucha Underground champion and former, we call him a Grand Slam champion, pretty much, of Lucha Underground, Phoenix, do at WrestleCon in a few weeks? So let me know on social media, comments below, hit me up, and let me know what you think. So that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you dig the content, give it a like, by all means. Give the channel a sub. Share it with your friends, please. And ring that bell for notifications so you find out when my content hits your screen next. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to have time to do anything tomorrow. Heading into the weekend, I got a lot of stuff going on, so this may wrap up the weekend. Might be back Sunday night, depending on what news hits over the weekend for, anything WrestleMania or WrestleCon news pops up for this or any other thing. So we'll see. So thanks for watching. I'm J-Bone for Smash This Podcast. Have a good one.